Ron DeSantis, who many speculated would be Trump's biggest competition in the Republican primary, is losing. And not just losing, he's losing in an embarrassing fashion, because a new poll from CNN recently found him polling in not second, not third, not even fourth, but fifth place in New Hampshire, behind obviously Trump #1, and then Vivek Ramaswamy, Nikki Haley, and even Chris Christie in that order. So we all know that Ron DeSantis is running a far-right campaign that is filled with Nazi iconography and genocidal rhetoric towards the LGBTQ community, and apparently that's not playing well in New Hampshire. From The Guardian, DeSantis's decline comes largely among moderates, CNN said, detailing a 20-point drop in such support. While Haley has gained ground with that group, Ramaswamy's standing has grown among younger voters and registered Republicans, which I gotta stop there for a second. This is a man who doesn't want young people to be able to vote. One of the tenets of his platform is that you should not be allowed to vote until you're 25 years old. If you are a young person showing your support for Vivek, why? I know we hate voting, but come on, guys, that is not the way. But it continues on, and I'll read it for the rest. And Christie's gains are centered among independents and Democrats who say they will participate in the GOP primary. Now, New Hampshire is the second state that's gonna vote in the primaries. Iowa is the first. DeSantis is currently polling in second in Iowa, but he's 30 points behind Donald Trump. So I don't think he's gonna make up that deficit. But just for good measure, the Trump campaign is planning to attack Ron DeSantis. We have this here. It has been widely reported that Trump is gearing up to attack DeSantis in the first Iowa, where DeSantis has targeted evangelical voters. Now, while media, in my mind, rightfully has been eulogizing the DeSantis campaign, David Polyansky, who's DeSantis's deputy campaign manager, has been defending him. Probably part of his job description. But he said this while speaking to the New York Times. Winning an Iowa caucus is very difficult. It takes a tremendous amount of discipline. It takes an incredible amount of hard work and organization traditionally, so much so that even in his heyday, Donald Trump couldn't win it in 2016. Of course, he's referencing that Ted Cruz won the Iowa caucus in 2016 for the Republicans. Now, the difference here would be that Donald Trump's campaign had momentum, whereas DeSantis' campaign is actively taking a nosedive. And it's gotten, I called it embarrassing at the beginning, but it's downright funny how bad the campaign is at politics. As an example, on Wednesday at an oil rig in Texas, DeSantis introduced his energy policy, attracting headlines by saying opponents were stoking fear about the climate crisis. A spokesperson, meanwhile, was forced to deny Michael Wolff's report that DeSantis may have kicked Tucker Carlson's dog. The totality of that story is absurd and false, Andrew Romeo told the Daily Beast of the report involving the former Fox News host. Some will say or write anything to attack Ron DeSantis because they know he presents a threat to their worldview. He's back there in fifth place, but he's presenting a big threat apparently. And I don't work, in that side of electoral politics, right? I talk about it, but I'm not a campaign worker. But even I know that if someone is presenting a story to you that is obviously false and fraudulent, don't give them the satisfaction. Don't make the statement. Don't deny it. You don't have to do that. Don't sit there and say, of course Ron DeSantis didn't kick Tucker Carlson's dog, because now we all have heard the dog story because you gave breath to that. I mean, I'm glad to see this. I'm happy to see bad things happening to Ron DeSantis. What do you guys think?
I think that people are attacking Ron DeSantis because they can. Because the same reason that I attacked my Buddy doll all the time, because Ron DeSantis looks like the My Buddy doll from the 80s, which you buy, it's my friend, but then you just you just smack it and it keeps smiling. Smack it and it keeps smiling. It's like you practice all your World Wrestling Federation moves on it, and it just keeps I don't know, I'm here for the fun of it. For him to be fifth in New Hampshire, use all this hateful rhetoric when he was supposed to be the opposite of Trump, when people started thinking about him, and then try to win in Iowa? No, you're not gonna win in Iowa being a jerk. Just ask Donald Trump. So he's got nowhere. Those first two swings at it are going to fail so miserably. And this isn't well, let's see what happens in the debates. My guy was in the debates. It went the other way afterwards. People like Vivek Ramaswamy because he smiles when he talks and he doesn't look like a psychopath. And Ron DeSantis has that very problem.
Yeah, he you're not. I'm sorry, you guys didn't like the smile like this.
Hi.
That didn't turn the voters on to him.
Hi, trust me with your children. The future of this nation.
Yeah, I mean he's a deeply unlikable guy.
Yeah.
The idea that he was going to reboot his campaign, which they tried to do a couple weeks ago now. It feels like they've rebooted multiple times.
Yeah.
But they're still doing the same types of things. He's got an extremely online staff, which I guess that'll help rile up the most fringe elements of your base. We had the incident with a staffer making a weird fan cam with a black sun, like a Nazi logo in this video, which tried to make him seem based and cool. And it's just, that isn't selling with people who are going to potentially vote for you. The people, and especially in states that matter, because to go back to what Ray said in the intro, a lot of this is about momentum. Pete outperformed what people expected in Iowa. That propelled him to Super Tuesday, which ultimately, when he dropped out, got him a cabinet position. A lot of this is just strategy and how you can win and perform in these early states and then build off that momentum. Biden didn't win the first couple primaries, but South Carolina gave him that boost going into Super Tuesday. Plus a little moving and shaking behind the scenes to get people to drop out. But DeSantis doesn't have that skill and he isn't liked by enough people to consolidate any bases behind him. So whatever they say, I don't care. This is just going to continue to crash and burn, and I'm going to enjoy watching that next week in the GOP debate.
Yeah. He's a creepy weirdo. I mean, everything I hear about Ron DeSantis is like, oh, he's uniquely evil. Like, I was reading that when he would go on dates with women, he would ask them, or he would mispronounce words to see if they corrected him. And if they corrected him, he would just get up and leave the date. Like a corroborated story about him just being a weird, creepy weirdo. And like all of the reporting about his time working in Guantanamo Bay, uniquely evil, smiling that disingenuous, shocking smile while he is force feeding, prisoners on a hunger strike. He is so unlikable. I mean, and the only reason he won in Florida, and we don't have time for it, but he's also losing a lot of support among the legislature there. But the only reason he won the race was because Democratic candidate had a sex drug scandal. And that he got Trump's endorsement, which is obviously something that he could never, replicate here while running in this primary. So and having a campaign manager who's never run a national campaign, has never run any type of political campaign. It's just shocking to peel the curtain back, because we were all. And I think rightfully so, he's been very effective at passing and getting put in place his fascist agenda in Florida. We were talking about how he's a scarier candidate than Trump because he's more efficient with his fascism. But just like peeling back the curtain a little bit and seeing how horrific he is at the politicking side of things has been a joy. I've loved every second of it.
There's no Ron DeSantis. There isn't a person. He is a series of calculations. And the one thing that Donald Trump thrives against is politicians speaking politicianese, trying to paint by numbers their way through polling and testing into some kind of seat. Trump gets up there and just pushes you. The only people that can withstand that are Vivek Ramaswamy and Chris Christie are the only people being themselves out there. Yeah. Sort of. Seeming like themselves.
But Ramaswamy, if they ever get on the debate stage, is going to kiss up to Trump. Yeah. His whole run just seems like, please pick me to be your VP or give me a cabinet position. He loves Trump.
If you enjoyed this video, that's because of our members. They make us independent, they make us strong, and they make us honest. Become a member today by hitting the join button below.